Facebook is stealing your data. Well, I think you know that, so let's get started. What's up, guys? Naqib here. Welcome back to Zelda. Today we are going to talk about Facebook versus Apple. So, what is happening with Facebook and Apple? If you've been following the tech community, you know that there's a big battle going between Facebook and Apple. It all started when Apple said that in iOS 14.5 update, they are going to add an option where whenever Facebook wants to track your data, they will give a pop-up for you to allow or not allow Facebook to take your data. So it is a very obvious thing that if you see this pop-up, you'll say that, well, I don't want to give the data. And if this happens, that means Facebook is not going to get the data they want, and because of that, they're not going to be able to personalize the ad, which they earn through. Facebook is free, but they show ads to you. That's why they need data, so that if they have your data, then they can personalize the ad through AI. For example, if I want to buy a headphone, I'm gonna go and search for headphones in many websites, and Facebook is gonna track the data, and then they're gonna give me ads of headphones. So that's why whenever you try to find something, you'd see that Facebook is giving a similar recommendation to you in their app. That means they're tracking you, right? So there's two kind of tracking Facebook is doing. First is first party tracking, and second one is third party tracking. First party tracking is whenever you are using the Facebook app, they're going to take data from you. With data, I don't mean photos or anything like that, like other datas. So whenever you use the app, you actually agree to the Facebook that, well, you can take my data. But there's the second kind of tracking, which is the third party tracking, is kind of immoral and illegal, being honest, because they don't take the permission from you, that they want to track you outside of the application whenever you are not using the application. So you may be thinking, well, how can they do that? Well, there's a service called Pixel. Yeah, Pixel, not the Google Pixel. This Pixel is from Facebook. So what happens that whenever a website has Pixel on it, it will give the data to Facebook, and Facebook's gonna take the data, and their AI gonna personalize ads for you. And obviously, if Apple shows pop-up every time that Facebook wants to take your data, you're obviously gonna say that, no, I don't want to give you my data, but they're taking the data anyways, but you are not noticing it. Whenever you are noticing it, then the problem comes up. But what is happening that Apple is saying that we are concerned about our customers and consumers' data, and being honest, they are actually quite conscious about their consumers' data. There was a situation a couple of years ago that a criminal was using an iPhone, and FBI said to Apple that unlock this phone, and they said that we're not gonna do that because it's gonna be against their policy and their consumers' privacy. So they didn't do it even when FBI said it. So they're actually quite concerned with their consumers' data. On the other hand, Facebook is totally careless about data. Facebook actually sells your data to companies. Also, you know that Cambridge Analytica scandal Facebook had a couple of years ago. They personalize ads through tracking you, and you're getting your data. So that means Facebook know about you a lot. Like, they know your buying behavior. They know whenever you have, when you purchase in the month, and everything related to that. If there's almost 1 billion Apple users around the world who is using iPhones, and if this happens, Facebook is gonna actually lose a lot. Epic also joined the battle with Facebook. If you don't know, last year Apple removed Fortnite from the App Store because it actually violated their policy. So they actually teamed up with Facebook right now. You know, enemy's enemy is friend. So with this, you can actually understand that how important data is. So you have to save your data, because right now every company and even every nation in the world is actually fighting for data. They want your data, so you have to be quite safe. And Apple is actually, as I say, in a very, very cleaner side in this situation because they are concerned about people's data, whereas Facebook, they are just taking the data, and they are actually very unprofessional with their approach with people's data. On Facebook side, Facebook is actually going to have a huge amount of loss if this happens, and Facebook is already saying that if this happens, then we're not going to be able to give more personalized ad, and small business owners are going to face losses. And to be fair with the small business owners, Facebook is right, but the move Facebook is taking is very aggressive. Like recently, Australian government said that they have to pay the news outlets for giving news in the Facebook, and Facebook just removed all the news media outlets of Australia from Facebook. This is very, very aggressive, and I think it is kind of unprofessional. But I think they should come into an amendment so that they can fix the problem. If something wrong happens, then like there's 1 billion people using iPhones, so if Apple decides to throw Facebook away from iOS, then they're gonna lose a substantial amount. So that is it for this video. Hope you have enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe. Bye.